Hi. So today we're going to take a look at how to create a basic website using Wix Studio. So we are in wix.com right now. Once you have signed up, you will see this window and click on create a new site will take you to the creation tool. So here you can basically decide what editor do you need. So Wix Studio is the newest addition, which is the most user-friendly way to create a website. So I'm going to start with a blank canvas and we're going to use Wix Studio right now. Wix is a CMS platform. It basically is a content management system, right? You will be able to visually design your website and the coding will happen in the backend. And all you need is to publish this to make it go live. So this is our interface. You can see that this is your workspace. This is where you build your website. You have your toolbar. You have your different devices, how each of the devices will render your website. And that's basically it that you have to know to get started, right? So the first thing that we're going to do here is, if you scroll up, you can see that there is a header. So you click on the header and all the features of that header is going to come right here. This is fixed height. So there is a scroll effect. So when I'm scrolling it down, it scrolls with the site. You can change the grid settings. All these options are actually available here, and there are animations and effects, which is in a different tab, right? So all the design related stuff is going to be here. All the animations and effects are going to be in here. We will try and change the business name. So all we have to do is select this and we can edit whatever we want. Design 0223. So this is what we are for to do. I'm going to select this particular stack and I can change the vector art to another icon if we want, right? So I'm just going to look for an icon in Wix itself. Let's say something related to design. I'll see a lot of stuff. I'll select something simple just for an example. I'm just going to use this, add to page. And you can see that that logo is now replaced there, right? So let's say that is what we have to do with the header, right? Then let's go to the next section. So here it's actually empty right now. We can add a design section, we can add a grid layout or an element into this. So let's see what happens if you add a design section. So when you click on this, it's going to open this palette and it will give you design sections. So these are already designed. All we have to do is take it and edit it to your whatever you basically require. So I'm going to just take this, right? Just click on it and it will load to your workspace. Close this. And you can see that we have the header and we have this particular element right here. Let's collapse that one. Scale it up a bit. You can see it. All right, this is how it is going to look like. And this is a responsive website, which means that if somebody previews in different browser sizes, it will adapt to it. So you can see this by clicking on this and drag and resize it. So if somebody views it in a smaller desktop screen, it will look like this. And if they watch it on a bigger monitor, this will actually look like this. So it gives a fairly good understanding of how responsive this website is. So you can click on all these elements and you can edit it really, really quickly, right? So let's say design, explain. Okay. So we have this right now. And the button also. So I'm going to select the button. And if you come here, you can see the settings of that button, how the text is going to look like. Do you want to show the text? What style of font that it should use, right? Do you want to make it bold, italic? All these options are going to be here. The colors, everything is going to be right here. What we basically need to do, we don't have to change any of this. We need to change the text that actually comes in here. So double click on that. We'll give you this window and say that launch now. So when it is getting connected, let's say we have to, when somebody clicks on this, we need to connect it to an outside website. So click on this, choose a link, and this window will come. We can connect it to a page that we have designed it, or we can connect it to a web address, which is outside. So I'm just going to type in the Stone's address here. And it opens in a new window. Click done. That's done, right? So when somebody clicks on it, it is going to open the stones.com page. So, but right now what we need to do is that we need to change this image as well. So I'm going to select the image. I'm going to change the image. Let's do something which is related to design. I'm just going to search it's available in Wix itself. There are so many interesting stuff, content, which is basically available here itself. So I'm going to select this. It looks good. Update that, and the image is updated to this, right? So you can, again, with your aesthetics, you can change aesthetic knowledge that you have. You can change all this stuff. So you select this. You can see the font which is used. You can select whatever actually fits for this particular user case by going to that font and changing that here. Okay, let's go with this one. I'll change the spacing also a little bit, maybe 0.5. Okay, so I have this right now. I'm just going to move it here. Okay, so we have the first two sections. So we have the header and we have one section which we built. It's super easy to actually create this stuff using Wix Studio. You can also generate an image using AI right from here. You can also add masks into it. So for instance, you can add an image mask into it, or not showing the whole image. You can maybe try this one. So it just created an image mask, maybe this, right? So whatever actually works for you, you can do that. A blob, maybe something like this. There are so many built-in patterns, which is right there. You can use any of that here, right? Okay, let's get back. So now another thing, right? Once we have built this so far, you can see that it actually shows a menu bar right here, right? Because we are in home page and it's showing just home here because we only have one page here. So if you click on this, you can see that we only created one page in here. Let's build another page right now and see how that is going to work. So I'm just going to go to pages here, and you can see that there is the main page. There is only one page. So I'm going to click one page, and I'm going to add a standard page here, and we'll call it student. So the first page is called home, and the second page is called student. So it will default, by default, it will have the header because it's going to be an element which will take to every other thing. So we need to actually add something here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just add a grid layout, right? Rather than adding a design grid here, I'm going to add a grid layout, and I'm going to choose this grid. So I have that grid layout which just came right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to select, place the grid there, right? And we have 3 grids that is placed into it. The advantage of this is that you can actually treat these elements as separate content. So if I select this grid, I can add media into that content. So let's say I'm going to add a picture to it. So let's create this picture here. So it's going to be in that grid. Maybe this grid, I can use it to display some text, right? So I'm going to just use this, go to the text column. I'm going to add the paragraph text right here. I'm going to put it into this section, right? So some sort of information regarding this and all that. And the last section also, I can go here, maybe add media, and I can put in another image, say this one, add page. So this is the benefit of having grid layouts, right? So it will separate your layout into different sections and you can use it for different purposes. So what I'm going to do is I'll just select this cell and this particular cell that I'm selecting, and I can change the color of that cell to something else. I'm just going to go to this. I'm just going to change the color to this. So I have a different color for that as well. You can do all of that in here, right? So we did 2 things here. One was we actually added a design section, and one was we actually played with the grid layout to add content into it. So this is how you can actually add this. Now, let's say we are going to preview this. So click on preview. And you can see there is the preview of this button. Let's go back. This is how you preview it. You can see it in desktop. You can switch it to mobile. So this is how this thing will look in mobile phones. You can click on the menu. This is how the website appears on a tablet computer. Let's go back to edit site. So we are not in preview anymore. Let's go to desktop. Okay, so we have 2 pages, which is here, right? We can see a menu right here, right? So it's the home menu. I'm going to delete this menu. I don't like the way that menu looks, right? So we're going to add a custom menu. So I'm going to just go here and I'm going to select menu and search, and you can see a lot of interesting menus here, vertical menus, anchor menus, different types of menus that is available. We'll go with a horizontal one, and we'll take this menu. I'm just going to drop it to our sections here. So now the thing is that we have 2 pages, home and students, and we can only see home in here, right? So to add the other page into the menu, click on manage menu and add an item, click on main pages, tick students. So now all pages will actually appear in the menu. You can see that here, right? So if you don't like the look and feel of it, you can click on the layout of the menu and you can change a couple of things in here. The padding is the wrap that this button is going to have. So when I change the vertical padding, you can see that the button size actually got down. So maybe I can reduce the horizontal padding as well. You can also edit your sub menu. I don't have a sub menu. So if a page will have, if button has more items inside it, you can create a sub menu here, which is really, really simple, right? I'll show you that as well. So I created a page now, student names, right? We want to actually create a sub menu right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to select the menu, manage menu. So go to the layout, sub menu, manage menu items, a main page, we'll say student names, apply that, and we are going to add it as a sub page. So just drag and drop it in here. So we can see that inside students, the student name is here. Now to preview this, right? Let's build some content here again. So we will just add an element here directly without any sort of like design section or grid layout. We are going to add something here. Let's add a video into this. So now let's preview how this is. So we have the home screen. So let's go to the home screen. This is what we built. Now, if you go to the students, when you click on students, you can see that there is a sub menu, which is coming there, which is called student names, right? So that's how we connect it. So if you click on students, it will go to the student page, but there is a drop down, which is there as well, right? So this is basically how you get started with Wix Studio. Explore this, try to actually talk about, see all the